How's it going, everyone? I hope you're doing good. June Infinite here, coming at you with another video. This time I'm gonna speak about Spider-Man 2, my first impressions. I've been playing it for around, I would say, 7 hours ish. uh Very excited to be able to have this game right now.
I'm all clear.
Let's
were
switch
saying?
to gameplay before I
Don't let it eat
begin.
you up.
Now, as I tend
best
to
you
do,
just
or
focus on the
as I'm
task at
starting
hand.
to do in this channel,
That's not all.
I
When I
play a
face
little
Lee, I
bit
got some new
and I
powers.
speak my mind on my
They're
first
blue
impressions,
and
and
weird.
then after I finish the game I
I'm
do
no
a
expert
review.
on
So this
spider
is
powers,
that.
but
Now, the first thing I
gonna
want
be
to
some
say about
stress.
the game is that
What
I
you're
was
going through,
impressed
it's a lot.
when I started to play, as I
Well,
think so
even Pete and
will
I,
be a lot of you.
we're still figuring
When
it
we
all out.
got to that first
at a time,
tutorial boss
right?
against the Sandman,
We'll find it.
that was an amazing
I know.
action set piece,
Thanks,
and
MJ.
it set the tone
Miles,
for our
be careful with Felicia.
expectations
You can't
the
trust
rest of
her
the
no matter
game.
what she says.
So I do hope it lives up to it. I'm thinking it will, because the first
Understood.
two games
Let you know when I get there.
were like that. Even though this is called Spider-Man 2, this is the third game in this universe. We had the first one, and the second one was about Miles Morales. Right now I'm using Miles, and one fun thing about the game is that you can switch between the characters. Let me see if I am in a part of the story in which I can do that. And right now I'm
Let's
Peter Parker. Okay, I'm gonna be swinging around as I talk about the game. So another thing I want to mention is that I came in blindly
Hey, friendly people, what's been up?
to playing the
I
game.
found
I
the
only saw the
sweetest
first
email
trailers
in
and
my
that's
inbox
it.
today, and
Usually I
just
do
had
that
to
with
share
things
you.
I
It
love,
reads, Dear
because
Danica,
I've learned to
I know
enjoy
you're
them
reporting on
more
high-profile stories
blindly.
these days, but
So,
if you have time, I'd like to forward a public thank
I was surprised
I'm
when
a
I got
BBA
to
senior
use
who would never have
the
gotten an A
spider
on their
wings,
final
the web
cinematography
wings.
project if it wasn't for Spider-Man's help.
It's a little
I
bit
was so
scary.
grateful, I decided to name my
I
new
imagine for
hamster
the
after him.
developers to
It meant a
add
lot
new
to take the
mechanics
time to
to
help
an
him
already
and how much
flawless
he had to deal
experience
with.
in terms of the swinging.
Sometimes the
Swinging
smallest good
has
things
been
leave ripples.
polished
If you read
with
this,
each
thanks for
Spider-Man
reading.
games throughout the
Sincerely,
years,
Odyssey.
and it's really
Oh, Odyssey,
mindless
I love
fun,
stories like
somewhat
this.
relaxing, I
Small
think,
things make such a
even to
difference.
just web swing
So,
around.
Here is my
and
challenge for all of you.
Just have fun. You know, Spider-Man is pretty unique in that
There's no stopping the progress.
in his style of transportation through the city, because what other hero does this in that way, you know, web swinging? The visual quality of the game, as you can see, is pretty good. It is smooth. The camera follows Spider-Man around flawlessly. I have had no trouble with that whatsoever. And you know that these 3D action games sometimes have problems with the camera. That has not been the case for me right now. I love how the camera spins around, and as you can see there, we just got a save or a cameo from Miles. That is something that always puts a smile to my face, because they're two superheroes that coexist in this universe, and they cover a very small area. So it is pretty, I would say it would be pretty normal for them to be coming across each other, even though sometimes they might be working separately. This game handles that well compared even to the comics. The comics, it's a little bit awkward because they just ignore each other's existence, but here they coexist pretty seamlessly. That is something that I want to praise and mention here. The audio score and the music score, it is a blend of both styles, and when I speak both styles, I'm talking about Peter Parker and Miles. If you have consumed this franchise in recent years, you know that Peter Parker's tones are more on the heroic side, and Miles mixes that with urban music, hip-hop, and I love that. Somehow that works amazingly. It gets me going, and you get a little bit of both classical, heroic, orchestra, and sometimes hip hop, which is awesome. Something else. As with the first 2 games, we get a skill tree and a bunch of unlockables. Talking about the suits, as you can see, I'm using my spider arms, mechanical spider arms. This is something that has always been used with a few Spider-Man. But nowadays, oh, I died. It's hard for me to speak and play at the same time. But nowadays, it is used more often. And here, it works because the previous villain was Doc Ock. So it's great that Spider-Man takes ideas from the villains, but usually the relationships between the Spider-Man villains and Peter Parker or Miles are a little bit more complex.
A sand crystal.
Which is something I want to talk about a little bit later in this video. And yeah, it works. But speaking about the skills and gadgets, there's a lot of options, a lot of combos you can do. It takes a little bit of time for you to get accustomed to all the options. But once you get accustomed, the combat is flawless.
Big mistake, Spider!
Here I am doing a crime. Solving a crime. That's a good segue to talk about into the combat system. I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I speak about the things that impressed me. The combat system is really fluent, just like the other ones. We all know that these games took inspiration from the Batman Arkham series, and that game was groundbreaking. So the ideas used here are evolutions of that combat system. Something that really shines in this universe is the personality of each character. Peter Parker and his problems are very relatable, very human, and sometimes you get to play as him, contrary to playing Spider-Man. And there was this part, man, when we entered Aunt May's house,
Perfect chance to
which is our house right now, and Peter is talking about how he has to pay his mortgage, and you get to see the bill. And I took my time in studying that document because it's so realistic.
Behind there.
So they take the time to flesh out the details
sign
in
of
the
her?
characters in a
Found
way
some
that
scratch
you can
marks with
relate to
traces of
them.
metal.
And there's enough characters that you can find one to relate to. So that's awesome. What else can I speak about? The villains. The villains are broken people. I felt for Sandman in that intro because you can feel for the guy.
Okay.
Because he if you were given those powers without asking for them, how your mind works would be different than the average person. And if you have a bad day, you could break down. I have no idea how to do this puzzle. And that's another thing. Besides the action and the narrative, you get a bunch of mini games which are fun. On another session, I was playing basketball with Harry, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to break the loop of gameplay and just do something, even as small as it is, you know, shooting hoops in the basket. It fleshes out the characters even more. And lastly, to finish up my first impressions, well, since this is another reboot of Spider-Man, we have gotten a lot of reboots over the years. I don't mind it because it's exciting to see what they do with the characters.
Done.
And when it is done well, there is an
Cobalt.
excitement that
This
keeps
is looking
growing
good.
inside. That makes the game even more enjoyable. So right now, I'm enjoying this experience. I'll be uploading videos of the best moments in the game. And when I finish it, I will do a review. So I hope you guys are enjoying it too. If you got to this part of the video, I hope that you give a like, and thank you for being here. Comment if I missed anything. What do you like about the game? And keep having fun. Let's talk video games because we like to play them. And with that, that is me, June Infinite, out. See ya.